where they blew the horns.
Everyone knows the 80s gave us the big names, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, Van Halen, but what about the ones that didn't make it to MTV fame? The forgotten riffs, the lost anthems, the bands that rocked just as hard but vanished in the noise. Today, we're turning up the volume on 12 hidden 80s rock gems you probably never heard, but once you do, you'll never forget them. Our countdown starts in the blazing Arizona heat with a band that had all the makings of MTV stardom. Icon. Their track, Rock On Through the Night, is a perfect snapshot of what 80s hard rock was all about. Soaring vocals, razor-sharp guitar lines, and an energy that made you want to grab a leather jacket and hit the open road. Icon had the look, the sound, and the drive, but timing is everything. And in 1984, the glam metal wave was already crashing. They got lost in that flood of teased hair and neon spandex. Still, this track holds up as one of the decade's purest, most underrated anthems. Have you ever stumbled on a band that made you think, why weren't these guys huge? That's Icon in a nutshell. Before the 80s hair scene blew up, Deep Purple's legendary frontman Ian Gillan decided to carve his own solo path.
But at least I'm sure that I would go up there instead of down below to the end.
No Laughing in Heaven wasn't your average hard rock tune. It was a biting, bluesy commentary on fame, greed, and religion.
Gonna go to heaven.
Gillan delivers it with that unmistakable snarl, half sermon, half rock and roll rebellion. It's storytelling at its finest. No flash, just attitude and truth. This track shows Gillan's wit and weight as a songwriter. You can feel him breaking away from the Purple legacy, building something grittier and more grounded. Ever felt like someone was preaching fake perfection to you? Gillan calls that out loud and clear. From Canada's bar rooms comes Coney Hatch, one of the most criminally underrated hard rock bands of the 80s. Their track, Devil's Deck, feels like a lost AC/DC anthem, crunchy riffs, melodic hooks, and a pure sense of fun. They even opened for Iron Maiden on tour, but somehow never broke into the U.S. market the way they should have. Maybe they were too rock for the pop crowd and too melodic for the metalheads. But that middle ground, that's where the magic lives. If you love tight harmonies, guitar-driven choruses, and that raw turn-it-up-in-the-car vibe, this is your jam. Let's cross over to Ireland. Three brothers, Pat, John, and Tommy McManus, formed Mama's Boys, and their sound was as authentic as it gets. Needle in the Groove is a track that screams hard work, heart, and hunger. These guys weren't chasing trends. They were blending Celtic roots with straight-up hard rock energy. It's catchy, it's melodic, and it's proof that you didn't need big budgets or flashy videos to make something timeless. If you're into Thin Lizzy or Rory Gallagher, you'll instantly feel at home with Mama's Boys. Ever heard a song that feels like it was made for the underdogs? That's this one. Here's a curveball. The Call weren't your typical 80s rock band alls. They mixed post-punk seriousness with arena-sized passion. The Walls Came Down hits with a deep bass line, haunting vocals from Michael Bin, and lyrics that feel eerily relevant even today.
The congregation splits.
Bono from U2 once said The Call were one of his favorite bands, and when you listen, you get it. They didn't rely on flash, they went straight for your mind and your heart.
Playing on fears.
It's rock with purpose, political, emotional, and powerful. If you like songs that mean something, this one deserves a spot on your playlist. Next up, a band born from rock royalty, Fastway, featuring Fast Eddie Clarke from Motorhead and Pete Way from UFO. Say What You Will is straight up blues metal thunder. This song isn't polished, it's rough, it's loud, and it sounds like it was recorded in a garage full of beer cans and busted amps. And that's exactly what makes it so damn good. You can feel every ounce of Clarke's road-worn energy, every riff dripping with sweat and attitude. It's the kind of song that makes you want to stomp your foot, grab a guitar, and remember why rock mattered in the first place. Before arena rock got shiny, there was Shooting Star from Kansas City. They had the same melodic firepower as Journey or REO Speedwagon, but with way more grit. Hang On For Your Life is one of those songs that hits you emotionally. It's about struggle, resilience, and refusing to give up. The guitar solos soar, the vocals ache, and the whole track just bleeds authenticity. They were the first American band signed to Virgin Records, and they should have been massive, but fate had other plans. Ever heard a song that sounds like the soundtrack to your own comeback story? This is it. Here's a true cult classic. New Orleans trio Zebra made a name with this haunting Zeppelin-inspired masterpiece. Who's Behind the Door isn't just a rock song, it's an experience. The lyrics are philosophical, almost sci-fi, asking questions about creation, faith, and purpose. Add in Randy Jackson's soaring vocals and that clean, precise musicianship. It's pure art. They deserved more attention, but their sound was too sophisticated for mainstream radio. Listening now, you realize how far ahead they were. Have you ever heard a song that made you stop and actually think? That's Zebra for you. If you talk to musicians, they'll tell you King's X is one of the most influential bands nobody ever talks about. Goldilocks is the perfect example. They blended progressive rock, metal, soul, and gospel harmonies into something entirely new. The song feels intimate and spiritual at the same time. Doug Pinnick's voice has this incredible emotional depth. You feel every word. King's X never fit into a box. They weren't glam enough for MTV or heavy enough for metal radio. But ask fans of bands like Alice in Chains or Soundgarden? Many will say King's X lit the torch first. Now we step into the shadows. The lords of the new church were the dark princes of post-punk and glam. Fronted by Stiv Bators from the Dead Boys, they took punk rebellion and gave it gothic attitude. Russian Roulette is theatrical, dangerous, and haunting. You can hear echoes of The Damned, Bowie, and early Alice Cooper, but with a cold, apocalyptic twist. It's a track that captures that early 80s sense of chaos and style colliding. Ever wondered what would happen if punk grew up and started wearing eyeliner? This is your answer. Australia's The Angels, known as Angel City in the US, brought serious rock muscle. Marseilles is a gritty, swaggering anthem with the punch of AC/DC, but the sneer of punk. Doc Neeson's vocals are fierce and commanding. You could practically see him pacing the stage. The riff drives like a freight train, and that chorus, unforgettable. They were huge in Australia, but never cracked America the way they deserved. Still, this track proves they belonged among the greats. Have you ever heard a song and thought this sounds like Trouble in the best way possible? That's Marseilles. At the top of our list is Blue Murder, a short-lived supergroup led by the incredible John Sykes, formerly of Whitesnake and Thin Lizzy. Their song Valley of the Kings is epic, massive production, mystical lyrics, and guitar work that could melt steel. It sounds like something Led Zeppelin might have written if they'd lived through the excess of the 80s, mysterious, spiritual, and huge in scale. Sykes pours his soul into every note, blending heavy rock power with melodic sophistication. It's a journey through sound, a lost masterpiece from the tail end of the decade. Why didn't it take off? Maybe it was too smart, too ambitious, too late in the decade. But for real rock fans, this is the hidden treasure you never forget. The journey doesn't end here, rock warrior. Watch this next.